This week on the Poorly Drawn Arsenal podcast, we discuss
Raul Sanllehi's tub.
Hunter's battle against the AI Quizbot continues.
Bukayo Saka being kicked by 10,000 people named Dennis.
All that and more coming right up. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Poorly Animated Arsenal podcast. I'm Jacob. I'm the man behind Poorly Drawn Arsenal, and with me, as per usual, is Hunter. Say hi, Hunter.
Hi, Hunter.
Fantastic. It was pointed out to me recently that we should call this the Poorly Animated Arsenal podcast instead of the Poorly Drawn Arsenal Animated podcast, and that just kind of makes sense to me.
I mean, it's less cumbersome.
It is, yeah. Yeah, which is really all I want out of life. Hunter, we look different this week.
Uh-oh.
Or at least you look different. I didn't get to finish my half of it, but you have a chair now and a microphone. I don't have a microphone, so I guess I'm just being picked up by your microphone.
I have a very powerful microphone.
Yeah, that picks up multiple people talking.
And a very comfortable chair.
It does look very comfortable, if I do say so myself. But yeah, that's the sponsorship money rolling in from the Kai Havertz Donkey Sanctuary and Ben White PR firm. And I put it in good use to make the walrus as comfortable as possible.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
That's how I spent my international break. Obviously, we didn't record over the break. What did you do, Hunter?
Oh, this is a devastating question.
Over what you did over the international break?
Yeah, I don't remember. Nothing important, clearly.
Yeah, well, Arsenal wasn't playing, so
No.
you know.
I went into. Do walruses hibernate?
I don't know. That feels like a question you should know the answer to.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah.
Well, this one does.
Yeah,
I hibernated.
Yeah, let's say yes. That feels like a yes. Well, speaking of the international break, did you pay attention to anything that happened to Arsenal over the break?
Arsenal players or the Arsenal club?
News, players, all of it.
Okay. A little bit.
Okay.
I might, if you have a quiz for me, I might be able to answer one or two questions.
I do have a quiz for you, because I did not pay attention to anything. I completely disconnected, unplugged, whatever you want to call it. So yesterday when I was like thinking about this podcast, I was like, what happened over the international break? So I came up with some questions to see unfairly how much you were paying attention to it. So let's start off with during Arteta's press conference that he had this week, he was asked a question about a player who left this summer. He was quoted as saying, what I can say about him as a person, he's a phenomenal boy. He tried really hard. He did his bit. Who was he talking about?
Phenomenal boy. Is it Kieran Tierney?
No.
Okay.
Do you want the answer? Or are you going to keep, it looks like you're going to keep
Rob
going.
Holding.
No, not Rob Holding. Think very recent departures.
Nicolas Pepe.
It is Pepe.
Okay.
Yeah. I find it very funny that Pepe, who's 28, 29, around there.
Phenomenal boy.
He's a phenomenal boy. Yeah, so do you have any thoughts about him? I mean, I don't think we're going to say anything different than what other people that are more eloquently spoken than us have said about him.
Sure. I don't think the transfer really worked, but for a transfer that didn't really work, he did score a lot of goals.
Yeah.
It's maybe the most goals you can score while still be considered, having been considered not working out.
Yeah, I would say so. He did score a lot and assisted a fair amount, but also has been deemed not to have worked out. And I'll even say that he did not work out. Do you think that him leaving in the way that he left, and probably the last, or hopefully the last, like kind of contract termination thing that we've been doing, do you think that's the big talking point? Is that a sign that we're bad at selling, or is it more of a sign that we're kind of like bad at buying
I think
or
it just feels like the end of the Sanllehi era.
yeah, there was a lot of weird things that happened with that transfer that
Oh
I don't
yeah,
even think that we got the full story of what happened.
I'd love to get the full story eventually.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I bet there's all kinds of sneaky little things going on.
Yeah,
The
I bet
obvious
he,
bribery.
yeah.
Oops.
No, that's better than what I was gonna say.
No, you have to say what you were going to say.
I was gonna say that he had like he was that person in the office that had like a tub is the wrong word, but like a tub of Skittles,
I'm
and he
thinking
would
full on bathtub.
yeah he had a full on bathtub of Skittles, and he would only give them to certain people in the office, but not other people. And the more I talk, this the more stupid it sounds.
If your boss, one, had a bathtub in their office, and
That would raise
two,
red flags.
the bathtub was full of candy, would you even accept it?
Well, I'm hypoglycemic, so no.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that would be an immediate no for me.
Okay. What if it was your favorite treat?
So if it was filled with um, just like yogurt,
Yeah, it's just a tub full of loose yogurt,
right? Yeah,
and
um,
you've done something good, and
and
your boss is pleased,
my
and you're
treat,
summoned. You're
yeah,
summoned into the bathtub office.
and my treat is you can take a scoop out of.
No, 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 no.
Oh no, I
You're
can.
being fed a spoonful.
Oh,
The
I'm
boss takes a big
fed a spoon.
spoonful.
No, I'm gonna politely decline that.
He's starting to airplane it,
Yeah, no. So, but again, the power dynamics of the situation, I think I have to because it's my
right?
boss. Yeah. Anyway, that's why he left Arsenal. One too
Or else
many
shouldn't have kept that
scoops.
bathtub full of yogurt.
Yeah, and they were like, one, this is weird, but two, there's some weird pyro dynamics that are going on here, and we just got to get him out of here. Um,
I wonder what Edu put in the bathtub.
I would say he fills it with Brazilian like barbecue.
Yeah, grilled meats.
Yeah, much better bathtub to have in your office. Let's move on to the second question here that I have for you, Hunter. Arsenal confirmed their first team squad for the Champions League group stages. There were two surprises in the squad, one of them being Cedric, and the other being an academy player. Can you name the academy player that was added to the
Oh.
squad and where he was born?
And where he was born.
Yeah, because it's a bit different.
He was
I'll give
born
you a hint.
somewhere different.
It's an England international, but he wasn't born in England.
Ooh. Will I ever guess where this guy is born?
I think if you get the name, you'd possibly get the location.
Is it Salah Adin? Is he still here?
No, I don't know if he's still there, but that's not the person who was added to the squad. I will
Well,
say it's a name that I haven't heard of, and again, I don't really pay attention to academy players outside of like the few that are
okay. So,
close. But
so it's like ruling out Waneri and
yeah, they are all I think under 18 or around 18. They can
oh,
be added
so
to the
he's
B.
older.
So he's 18, but he's only been at the club I think for maybe 1 or 2 years.
Hmm. I don't pay enough attention to the academy to be able to pull this one.
It is Lino Sousa.
Oh, okay. I know the name. And
Yeah,
was he born in Portugal?
he was born in Portugal, so you did get
Mm-hmm.
that one. Um, Yeah, I don't really. I guess he was added for homegrown rules. Whoopsies! My mouth did something I didn't want it to do.
What if they put him in there by accident, and then they looked at it later? They're like, "Whoopsies!"
Like, oh, whoopsies! Didn't mean to. Well, there was that one player. I don't. This is a terrible story because I don't even know who it was or what club it was. But
I love
somebody
a
was
terrible story.
somebody was dropped from the Champions League squad because they forgot to add him. I don't have the context of that. I've done
That's
it in Football Manager at least once or twice, but
it's gotta
um,
feel bad.
it does, yeah, yeah. But as a general note, I'm excited that the Champions League is coming back.
Oh, sure. It's
Not
been a
that it was
while.
gone; it existed, but in my mind, because Arsenal wasn't there, it's back.
Yeah, you're like a baby.
Yeah, Yeah,
It's just hard for you to conceive of something if it's not right in front of you.
yeah, exactly. Cool. So moving on, this is the last question. During the international break, an Arsenal player was quoted as saying, "I don't have much to say about a new contract, apart from the fact that I'm very happy at Arsenal, and I hope I can be there for a long time." Who said that?
Okay, this is Martin Odegaard.
Yes, this was a bit of a toss-up, um, but I was trying to get a broad spectrum of the things that happened, and that was kind of the only other real big news that had happened. That
I thought you were going to hit me with a Vinay stepping down.
yeah, I considered that. I also considered one about the Arsenal woman signing.
Mm-hmm.
If you could name where she came from before we signed her,
Oh,
but
what club she was at?
yeah,
I don't know that. I know she's Australian.
yeah. Well, but yeah, Martin Odegaard. There's speculation that something has been signed.
That would
That'd
be
be
nice.
nice. That would be very nice. That's all I really got about that.
Yeah. We think it'd be nice. That's the official poorly animated Arsenal podcast.
Slap it on there.
Pap.
Yep. Slap
It's
pap.
got the.
A
That's
pap.
a pap slap.
It's a pap slap. Okay. Well, yeah. I really can't. That's. I guess that's right. Cool. Let's move on to the meat of the podcast. The match that just ended. I don't remember which one of these buttons is my transition music.
Oh. Okay. Let's just start hitting them.
Okay, let's go with this one. Hunter, it's like
First try.
riding a freaking bike. You blindly pick one and it happens to be the right one. Ooh, chef's kiss. Um, cool. So let's do the match just ended. I think it was 1-0. Am I correct on that?
You are correct. Yeah.
Okay,
You
great.
didn't forget a goal this week.
Awesome. And I took somewhat great notes then.
Okay.
Let's do big picture as we normally do. How are your vibes? How are you feeling after that?
I didn't expect to enjoy this one.
Yeah, that's fair.
So we were getting hit with the they haven't won there in 6 years story a lot beforehand. I I expect that this is an unpleasant match to play. You
Yeah.
have to go up to Liverpool. There's 10,000 large bald men named Dennis screaming at you.
Yep.
They're just kicking you the whole game.
Dennis or Everton or both.
Everton. If 10,000 guys named Dennis run out of the stand and start kicking
Yeah.
you, just go home.
Sometimes it felt like that was happening to Saka this match. That Saka was just consistently being kicked by a different Dennis
I
and
know
kicked
this
about
is
1,000 times.
I know this is at the beginning, but I don't think we'll get back around to it. So, did you see at the end of the game, Mikolenko came up to him and gave him the like big, "Hey, we're buddies" kind of look?
Oh, I completely missed that. I was setting this up. Did that? He
It
was
was just like
no hard feelings,
Saka was talking to someone else, and Mikolenko just kind of walks up behind him with a look on his face, like, "Hey, sorry for kicking you so much, pal.
but it's what I gotta do.
That's just
Uh,
football."
that's that. Yeah, I was just trying to do a little light murder. No problem with that, right?
But you know what? The vibe was it ended up better than I expected.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I think I fall into a similar camp of I was not expecting this to be easy. Um, One because of the whole narrative of we haven't, won there in forever, and then also two, they're just a team that sits deep, and those are generally never pretty for us. And they're also matches I really don't care if we scrape a 1-0 win out of. So I'm happy with the win. I'm not really thinking that deep about how we went about it.
sure. I was in a weird headspace for it. I will say, for the first 10 minutes, I noticed advertising boards more than I ever had in my life.
Really,
I
it
was
wasn't
just,
the double advertising boards, right? That seems to
it,
be a thing in Germany, and I really dislike it.
it did have. they have like a second level where there's like a space and then another advertising board.
That was happening in this match?
Yeah.
What match was I watching?
No, you were watching the game.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You weren't distracted by the advertising boards like I was.
No.
The one
But
that got me the
usually,
most was the Carling one, and it wasn't even doing anything fancy. It was just like the word Carling and a white background, and then like a brown bar. And I was looking at it, and I was thinking, is that a beer bottle? Is that a chocolate
the
bar?
bar
What?
was, we shouldn't describe it. We're not being sponsored by them, but was was
No,
it like underneath it, or is it
no. It was between the. There was the word Carling, and then there was like a bar
yeah,
graphic, and then the word Carling again. And it
Carling
was just
Carling?
going by, and I was just
It had to be a
captivated by it.
had to be a beer. I
I,
also went into this match with a weird headspace. Um, that's mainly because my washer broke.
oh no.
Yeah, but it's been broken for about a week now, and the repair person came out on Monday, and I was at work, but Liz was here, and they came to repair it, but they said that they couldn't move the washer to fix it. It has a broken belt, so it's not spinning right now. And the guy said, I can't move this. So move it and I'll come back. Okay, fine. So we moved it and we scheduled another appointment. This one was for Wednesday, I think. He never came. So
Oh
then it was
no.
scheduled for yesterday on a Saturday. And so I stayed home all day waiting for this guy to come. And 8 o'clock rolls out and he's still saying that he's going to come, but he never comes. Um, so I have it rescheduled for Wednesday again. But I was looking up how to replace a belt myself and also where I can get it. So that's the headspace I went into this of like, I'm going to do this myself.
Sure.
I'm going to learn the inner workings of a washer. And so that's where my head was at before this. Similar places.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Double advertising board distraction of.
Just thinking about things moving in a line.
Well, I want my things moving in a circle.
Well, technically, the ad board is it's moving in a what's a rectangle, or do the
Uh,
ad boards are they an oval?
no, I would say it's a open-ended rectangle, kind of, kind of like a horseshoe, but a flat horseshoe. Okay, anyway, um, Raya started this match.
Yes.
Was that tactical? Was it just a rest so that way Ramsdale could play in the Champions League? I have no insight into this. I'm just
Oh,
a guy
me
who
neither.
draws cartoons. If I had to guess, I would say that it was because Ramsdale is getting the Champions League matches.
If I had to guess,
Please do.
it would be that Mikel Arteta thought that Everton wouldn't try to have the ball at all,
Right.
and he wanted the guy that's a better passer.
Yeah, that's fair. I also heard some people say that um, Raya's better in the air and Everton cross, and that was some of the thinking, which would make sense to me. Um,
He
but
did some nice claims.
you did,
Thought he
yeah.
played well.
It's got some good height.
There was
And
that one moment where he like came way out of his box, and it looked like it could have been bad, but then he headed it out. Do you know what I'm talking about? The ball was kind
oh
of
yeah, I did write that one
bobbling a
down.
little bit.
It was right after we scored, and I said Raya comically heads the ball out, which I it was very funny to me. And
It
more
was.
surprising that Everton didn't try to capitalize that on all. They were just like, yeah, we'll set up. Um, cool. Not a lot happened in the first half. My notes are very boring from that first half. One of my notes is I forgot about Ashley Young. I just forgot that he existed.
He's back from Italy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he was at Inter. I forgot about that.
I think he was at Roma too.
Yep, yep. I also wrote I've become numb. That is because of the VAR ruling. I just have no like I just don't react to them anymore. It's just I just expect it to happen.
I thought he was offsides at the beginning of the play anyway, so
Yeah,
I didn't get too invested in it. And then I was right.
yeah. There was some talk about how it went off of Beto, I think it was, and does that make it offsides or not offsides? I think this would be a bigger topic and more. I'd be more willing to talk about it if it had any impact on the final score.
Yeah.
but I'm so tired of talking about referees
Sure.
that it just doesn't interest me.
Yeah, why not?
All right, moving on. Um, and that's pretty much all the notes I have. I mean, Martinelli got hurt. I think we looked a lot worse when Martinelli went off,
Yeah, I agree.
which
I
is
think,
surprising.
Martinelli and Vieira have the little connection that they do.
Yeah,
It was a really nice Vieira pass to the disallowed goal. Uh, I think you and I both felt like after Martinelli went off, we were texting, and at some point, right before Trossard had scored, which is like the next big thing that happens in the match,
yeah,
right?
nothing real. I mean, Gabriel got a card for just existing at one point. But
Rude.
besides that,
Rude.
yeah. But besides that, really, there was a bunch of my second half notes consist of uh, some chance. I wrote there are some chances being created. Then I wrote I should eat lunch, and then I ate lunch, and then just
Okay.
scored.
What was for lunch?
It wasn't good. It was an everything bagel with cream cheese.
Okay.
It was more practical than it was anything else.
Sure.
But as you were saying,
Yeah, it felt like Trossard kind of wasn't meshing with Vieira as well, and that maybe that was not the best substitution for the situation. And then he scored an incredible goal.
yeah, a beautifully worked corner routine. Vieira to Shinchik.
Ooh,
I am
rewound.
using my words poorly today. To Zinchenko. There we go. To Odegaard, to Saka, and back to Trossard. And very quick 1-2 touches throughout that entire sequence. It was a very nice goal.
Oh yeah, very pretty.
I enjoy most Arsenal goals.
I can't think of one that I haven't liked.
Do own goals count? Okay. Yeah, no, there's none that I've been like angry about or
And they're
upset.
all good.
Yeah. But that one was definitely more enjoyable than your normal like tap in.
Oh, absolutely. Beautiful strike.
Yeah. And then there was the Raya comically heads the ball out. And then uh you got to carry the show from here, Hunter, because I got distracted
Uh-oh.
and my notes more or less end there.
Okay. It felt like Everton had like a few more chances, but not really. There was that break where Odegaard got a shot that was saved, and then it fell
Right.
to Vieira, and he hit it over. Uh, at some point, Havertz and Tomiyasu came on. Havertz had that kind of clipped shot
Oh,
pass
yeah. Yeah.
that just kind of went out. Uh,
Did you ever feel under threat about Everton scoring at the end of that game?
Not really beyond like the brief moments before a free kick, feeling like, oh, these are the kinds of guys that'll score off a free kick.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I think like Calvert Lewin had a chance that he just kind of did another shot pass kind of thing to nobody. Um,
They're not really a good team.
Not particularly, but
Yeah.
that doesn't really matter.
No.
It's not like they don't know how to play. Like they know to kick the ball and they can dribble the ball, and they're very large.
Yeah,
Uh,
and that gets you places. It just I didn't feel when we scored. I more felt like okay, that's the game.
I mean, I always feel like there's a chance for a team like that to score off a corner or a free kick or something, But
Yeah.
I didn't feel particularly threatened.
Yeah. Well,
Did you have feelings about the amount of extra time? Only 4 minutes.
it felt small.
Yeah, 4 is a comparatively small number
Yeah.
to
I mean,
like
there's been some
15.
really long ones recently, and I'm okay with some with 4. It felt like a nice little treat for us.
Oh, like just a spoonful of yogurt straight
No,
from the
I
tub.
wouldn't go that far. I'm okay. If there's any organization in the world that's going to have a tub of yogurt that they give their employees when they're doing a good job, it is absolutely the referees. He went back after that match and just went into a giant tub of yogurt and took a bath in it. If there's any organization in the world, they are the ones that have just a tub of yogurt.
Did you notice the fourth referee uniform today?
No, I did not.
It's
Was it different?
sponsored by EAFC,
Oh,
the
interesting.
rebranding for the
Yeah,
FIFA video games. It's like a smart little tracksuit.
a tracksuit.
It looked like a tracksuit to me. A little more stylish than usual. Oh, when they announced the 4 minutes of time, Sean Dyche was yelling at the fourth referee, who I think might have been Anthony Taylor.
Okay.
I don't remember. Some bald guy. It could have been Dennis.
We
He
know
was
nothing.
he was
If there's
yelling
anything
at him.
we get from this podcast, please just understand we know so little, and we're putting ourselves at a disadvantage by recording this right after our match ends.
The referee took a piece of paper out of his pocket and he was just showing him this piece of paper. And Sean Dyche was like, I don't want to see the paper. And he's like,
Maybe it's the receipt to his tracksuit. He's like, look how cheap it was. Look how cheap it was.
I'm flying high, baby. I got this thing on sale.
All I have to do is just show that it's sponsored by EAFC 24. Yeah, that's why he was just like, no, the time. I'm upset about the time.
You're not going to believe the bargain.
They practically gave it to me.
The address is on the receipt if you want one too.
Meanwhile, Sean Dyche is like, how is it only 4 minutes?
Anyway, Arsenal won.
Yeah,
Nothing.
and I don't really have anything else to. The cat.
Cat
This is
food.
definitely going to be on the podcast. The cat dispenser one. The food for the cat has been dispensed from the automatic dispenser. Any second, the cat will show up.
Okay.
Now I got to animate this. Yeah, I don't really have any overall thoughts besides those. It was just a match. I'm happy that we won. I was worried before that we wouldn't, and I'm just pleasantly surprised that it's something that we've won.
Yeah, nice to take the points.
Yeah, always. Cool. Let's move on to our next section of the show. Hunter, do you like to have fun?
I love it. It's one of my favorite things.
Great. Last week we did a poorly drawn Arsenal AI game. It was a quiz, and you had to guess what the computer thought had happened to Arsenal in their Arsenal history. I decided to change it up a little bit this week. So this AI game of the week, it's what this section is turning into, or Hunter versus AI, however you want to look at it. I asked our poorly drawn Arsenal AI to come up with a bunch of Arsene Wenger quotes.
Oh,
Except it gave me some, and then it made up a bunch. I then attributed some to him when they aren't actually him. So, Hunter, for this game, you have to tell me what are things that Arsene Wenger has actually said, and what are things that the AI thinks he has said. As a reminder, your score against AI, you have 2 points, the AI has 3. Okay. Are you ready? Ooh, wait, I have music for this. I'm getting my feedback here. All right. This is, was it Arsene or is it AI? First quote, the best way to predict the future is to create it. Was that Arsene Wenger or does AI think it's Arsene Wenger? It is robot. It's actually Abraham Lincoln.
ooh.
So the
Both
robot
tall.
thinks it's him, but it is not him. It is many years before him.
Both tall, slim men.
Yep. And
What if
has a
Arsene
hat.
Wenger wore the stovetop hat?
Oh, you wouldn't be able to tell a difference. All right, next quote. So that's a point for Hunter. Next quote. Football is not about winning. It's about glory. Was that Arsene? Or does the AI think it's Arsene?
I'll say that's Arsene.
It was not Arsene. It was Bill Shankly, an ex-Liverpool
Yeah.
manager.
All right.
All right, that's 1-1. Ready for the next one?
You know what happened there?
You got it in your
I
head.
was like, he wouldn't give me 2 in a row that weren't Arsene.
Yeah, well, who knows?
It's a
All right, let's move
devious
on to
game.
the next one. The only way to be a good manager is to be yourself. Was that Arsene? Or does the AI think that was Arsene?
I'm so deep in my head now.
It's the point of the
Is
game.
that Arsene?
You think it was Arsene?
Yeah.
It was not Arsene.
Ah!
In fact, no one has said this. This is just purely made up by the AI.
Ted Lasso hasn't even said that.
The only way to be a good manager is to be yourself?
Yeah, it feels like something he would say.
Yeah, but it's not. He didn't say it. Cool. So the next one. I don't look at the passports of people. I look at the quality and their attitude. Was that Arsene? Or does the AI think it was Arsene?
Now I'm extra in my head.
It's the point of the game. I want you in it.
Yeah.
The computer wants you in your head because it doesn't have a head.
Trying to trap me in a Tron zone.
That's a good reference.
Yeah. And so what I think about for a
When
person inside a
facing the
computer.
AI.
Yeah. I'm in there. I'm wearing a skin tight suit.
You're on a
riding
bike.
a light motorcycle around.
Yep.
I'm a walrus. I'm gonna say not Arsene.
Hunter, this is Arsene.
See what happened there is I was like,
Yeah, what happened?
he's just not gonna give me any. He's gonna give me all fake ones.
Again, this is the poorly drawn Arsenal AI, and this is all straight from a computer.
Sure, the
I
computer.
looked up afterward to see who actually said these things, but
Okay.
This was Arsene. This was said in 2005 after he fielded Arsenal's first entirely overseas squad.
Yeah. See, that makes sense. I should have just. I was like, that definitely seems like something you would say, and then it was
Yeah.
like, but what if I'm being tricked? What if I'm being made a fool of by a devious machine?
I mean, if there's any machine to be fooled by, and that is also devious, it is the poorly drawn Arsenal AI. Let's move on to the last question. Hunter, you have 1, and the computer has 3 to equal last week's score.
Yeah, I gotta get it.
One. The secret to success is to do the common things uncommonly well. Was that Arsene? Or does the AI think it was Arsene? This feels like it has like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Like it's playing in my head right now.
What if you were Regis?
I don't think I'd make a good Regis. I really don't.
You're too tall, and you don't yell enough.
And I feel like I wouldn't be like. I feel like sometimes he gets very coy or like, huh, you don't know that one, and I that's not me.
Not Arsene.
You think it was not Arsene? Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Hunter, you are correct.
Oh.
That was not Arsene Wenger. That was John D. Rockefeller, apparently the wealthiest American of all time.
Yeah, that felt like some success grind set kind of.
Well, so Hunter, you equaled the score as the score you had last week, which puts you at 40%. If you were playing baseball, that's very good.
If I'm playing baseball, I'm the best ever.
Yeah, you are.
But I'm not playing baseball. I'm playing the AI Arsenal quiz, and I'm not doing a very good job.
No, but the more you do this, the more you'll get in the head of the AI. I like there's many different games that it's coming up with. So we'll see what next week brings us. Wait, I got this thingy. This has been the Poorly Animated Arsenal podcast. I'm Jacob. I'm Poorly Drawn Arsenal, and with me is
Hunter,
a
walrus.
Thanks for listening in or watching. If you're watching this on YouTube or Spotify, you can give us a like if you're on YouTube, or give us a rating if you're on literally anything else. If you're on a plane, What's the rating? All right. I still don't know how to sign off on this thing, but I know that I'm nailing the music. This is a very good outro music.
I, I'm loving it.
Yeah. Very, like, under the sea, kinda, like, calm vibes. Alright, I'm gonna call it there. Goodbye.